Hello and welcome to the channel of If Rumi Was English. In this video, we will explore the 7 stages of ego or nafs, as taught by Sufis like Rumi and his beloved friend Shams. The nafs is the self or the ego that needs to be purified and refined in order to attain the highest levels of human perfection and eventually to grasp the unity with God and all of its creation. The Sufis have identified 7 stages of ego that correspond to different levels of spiritual development and awareness. Let's take a look at each stage and see what they mean and how they can help us in our journey of self-discovery and transformation. The first stage is the depraved or commanding ego. This is the lowest stage of the ego, where it's driven by worldly desires, passions, impulses, and temptations. It is rebellious, selfish, ignorant, and heedless of God's guidance and rights of others. It commands one to do evil and takes pleasure in it. It's prone to anger, greed, lust, envy, pride, and other vices. Our ego spawns all other idols, a dragon that spews snakes for scandals. In this interesting verse, Rumi says that our ego is the source of all our false attachments and desires that lead us astray from the truth. The idol here could be a metaphor for anything that we worship or value more than God, such as money, fame, power, or pleasure. The dragon is the rebellious ego, and snake could symbolize the cunning and the violence that these idols can inspire in us. The second stage is the accusing or blaming ego. This is the stage where the ego starts to feel guilty and ashamed of its sins and mistakes. It's like a judge that accuses and blames itself for its wrongdoings. In a precious verse, Rumi analogizes ego to a wild animal such as a rabid dog that needs to be tamed and trained, even though it's aware of its faults and shortcomings, but still struggles to overcome them. I thought I could tame my ego's hound with chains of repentance wrapped around. But what should I do when it spots a carcass and tears off its chains in a rabid madness? Carcass here is a symbol of carnal desires that can cause humankind to disregard the rights of others. The third stage is the inspired or enlightened ego. This is the stage where the ego starts to receive some inspiration, guidance, and illumination from God or its universe. It strives to do good deeds and avoid evil ones. It's humble, grateful, and sincere, and it starts to learn how to deal with its selfish and ignorant side. When the ego tries to pose as your guide, do the opposite of what lies inside. The fourth stage is the peaceful or tranquil ego. This is the stage where the nafs or ego attains peace, tranquility, and satisfaction with God's will. It is free from fear, anxiety, and doubt. It faces a hardship or a calamity with patience and perseverance, knowing that God is with him and will reward him. Those who have patience and restrain their lust will discern the gem's light beyond the dust. Here Rumi suggests that those who resist the temptations of the worldly life will be rewarded with a glimpse of spiritual enlightenment that transcends the physical world. The fifth stage is the pleased or satisfied ego. This is the stage where the ego becomes pleased and happy with God's decree and destiny. It accepts whatever God gives or takes away with gratitude and patience. It is optimistic, hopeful, and cheerful. When you meet a horrid mountain to climb, cherish and treat it as the lucky time. For the Lord has led you to this height. Be thankful and loyal to his side. The sixth stage is the pleased ego. This is the stage where the ego becomes pleasing and acceptable to God. It conforms to God's commands and prohibitions with love and devotion. It is obedient, faithful, and loyal. It is purified from all sins and defects. It reflects God's attributes of beauty, goodness, and perfection. Oh, brother, tolerate the needle's stings. to flee the pains your rogue ego brings, because those who fled their self-existence will have the stars bow before their presence. The needle's stings are a symbol of burdens that ego causes the human. The seventh stage is the pure or perfect ego. This is the stage where the ego becomes pure and perfect in God's sight. It transcends all worldly attachments, desires, and limitations. It's united with God's essence, attributes, and names. It is the highest stage of human perfection and the ultimate goal of Sufism. Rumi preciously describes his own ego reaching the seventh stage like this: I was Neptune, now the moon. My laird flare ballooned. I was a mystic tycoon, now I breathe a tycoon. At dawn, feeling so proud, the soul's mouth cracked so loud. I used to be a pawn, now a lord on a cloud. O son of romance, at us both take a glance. See how your grin danced and made my smile enhanced. If you like these three verses, you can see the whole poem in the above clip, where Rumi lyrically describes his journey going through the stages of ego. I know I have viewers who are far ahead of me in the spiritual journey, so perhaps you can watch that video and let me know what stage of ego each verse is referring to. These are the 7 stages of ego as taught by Sufis like Rumi and Shams. They are not fixed or linear, but rather dynamic and circular. One can jump from one stage to another depending on one's actions, intentions, and circumstances. The aim is to progress from the lower stages to the higher ones until one reaches the final stage of ego, where one becomes one with God. Let me know in the comments which stage of ego you're at. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new and useful. If you did, please like it and share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe and check out our other videos on this channel, where we explore the wisdom and beauty of Sufism and Rumi's poetry. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Peace be upon you.